Time once again for your update from the city of New Hope. And as always, we are pleased to be joined by the mayor, Kathi Hemken. Welcome once again, Mayor. How are you today?
Hi, Dave. Well, it's a little dreary outside, but not bad.
Yeah, a little bit interesting out there today. Maybe a few flakes falling, but we won't talk about that too much. All right, we want to talk about the budget process. Continues to move on. Where are we now, and what are some of the final elements that need to come together?
Well, they put all the numbers together, and then as more information comes in, they adjust the numbers. They have to tell the county what the maximum levy will be, and it can go down after that. So right now, the maximum levy is 4.67%, and it may go down after that, but now they're just adding some more details. So before they actually present it to the council on the 15th of November, they want to add the survey that they took. They want to add some information from Hennepin County. And so then that'll all be added in, and then we'll look at it on the 15th, getting ready for that public hearing on the 6th of December.
All right, we'll continue to keep people up to date about that process. Commission vacancies, you're looking for some residents to step forward to help out the city in a couple of different ways. First, tell us about the Planning Commission and those vacancies.
Well, we have a planning commission who looks at when a business comes, they prepare plans and specs, and the planning commission looks at that, and then they advise the council on what to do about that. So we really rely on them heavily when we have new businesses and things coming into the city. Well, right now we're down 3 positions. And so if anyone's interested, it is a volunteer job. They meet once a month, and then they have a separate meeting on codes and standards, or looking at the plans, and they meet again too. So the most it would be is twice a month. So we're looking for 3 applicants that would be a good fit with the rest of the commission. So if you're interested, please apply. You can get that application online, or you can call City Hall and they'll send one out.
Very good. You see the city's website there, newhopemn.gov. You can find out more about that. The other opportunity is through the West Metro Fire Rescue District. You're looking for possibly interest in someone being a trustee. Explain what that means to us and what the skills needed are.
Well, West Metro, of course, is the fire department with Crystal and New Hope, and they have a relief association, and that association manages the pensions for the firefighters. And there's 9 trustees. They're looking for one more. It can't be an elected official nor a firefighter. And so again, that's a volunteer position, and they meet once a month, and they oversee the pension process. So if you're interested, you can contact West Metro, or you can contact Ann Norris.
All right, and we have Ann's phone number here over at the Crystal City Hall, 763-531-1140, to find out more about that position. Let's talk about Xylon Avenue. People are going to be seeing some lights up there soon. The holiday season is coming, right?
It is. Well, as soon as they do that fall back on your clock for daylight savings time, it gets dark really early. So a few years ago, we decided that we were going to have people put up lights, just white lights on the trees on Xylon, so that the whole thing lights up, and it's so pretty. Yeah. That doesn't mean winter's here, but they'll be putting those up the middle of November. But it's kind of a push toward winter.
I'm afraid so. Watch for that beauty coming. Business Networking Group, they've got some meetings coming up. We've been talking a little bit about the one coming up rather quickly here. Give us a preview of the next 2.
So the one on November 3rd, that's today's Monday, that'll be on Wednesday, and that's at the Northridge, at the residence building at Northridge. They're really interesting because it's just businesses that come together. You learn about what's going on in the city, and you also learn about the different businesses that are in the city. And we always encourage people to shop and do their business locally if they can. So that one's going to be interesting at Northridge. And then the next one is the 1st of December, and that'll be at Opus Music Academy. That's right off of 36th. And like about 169, but there'll be more information coming out on that.
Very good. All right, let's move to the police department and our weekly update to tell you some of the things that are happening. First, a very interesting thing that seems to happen on a regular basis, the 3 chiefs from the neighboring cities getting together. What do they talk about? What have been some of the recent topics?
Well, it's Crystal, New Hope, and Robbinsdale, and of course they're so interconnected. A lot of times we respond to each other's calls depending on where the police are. Well, they got together and they were talking about violent crime in the cities, in the suburbs. And so it's an issue that they're talking about and what they're going to do about that. And then they've also gotten together. I have to look at my notes a second.
With the Tri-City group, correct?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. The three cities get together on a quarterly basis just to talk about what's going on in their cities, how they can help each other. It's really a very important deal that the three of them get together and talk. They're really fun when they're together.
I bet. Very interesting process that happens. We want to also talk about Community Relations Officer Callio. He has been a busy man. Where has he been spotted recently?
Oh, he's been everywhere. So he was calling bingo at the lodge in New Hope, and then he was working on the Special Education Advisory Council for 281.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we're delivering Meals on Wheels, but also Brad Callio has been going to meetings on group homes and a comprehensive approach to how to deal with those group homes. I just want to add one little thing about group homes. The city of New Hope has absolutely no say over where a group home is going to be. That comes out of the county. And so our job is just to manage that group home or help them manage it so they're not a disruptive element to the other neighbors. So if you've got a group home next to you that's causing problems, you really need to call and let us know so that we can go out there and see if we can help get that straightened out.
Good information. A couple other notes from the police department. A farewell to a longtime servant of the city of New Hope. Tell us a little bit about Captain Scott Crocker.
Captain Crocker retired after 36 and a half years.
Wow.
Actually, they told me it was 36.75 years.
Okay.
I guess they're counting the months. Sergeant Crocker has been Captain Crocker has just been a very, very valuable asset to the city. We're so proud to have had him all those years. Not only is he out there protecting the city, he's also protecting the police department. So we wish him a farewell. It was a very emotional day for him and the officers to see him go.
One other nice note from the police department, a great grant came in to help out the canine program. Give us a little more information there.
So we're looking to buy a new canine dog. The dog gets a little older, they retire, and they go with their handler. They can buy the dog for $1, and so they stay with the handler. So the American Kennel Club gave us a grant of $7,500 to purchase a new dog, and we'll be doing that this spring. And then when the dog comes, we'll hook the dog up with one of the officers who will be the handler for that dog. And the dog actually lives in the officer's home. A lot of very specialized training goes into those dogs. They're a real asset. So when we get this dog, we'll be back to having 2 dogs in New Hope.
Very good. And one other note, the city is seeking volunteers for the Explorer program. What type of people are you looking for? What does this involve?
Well, they have to be over 18, male or female. We don't care. We train, when I say we, the police department trains them. They'll very often go to places like, the old Duck days, or it's any place where there's somebody needed without a gun, basically. Okay. So they're not sworn, but they do learn how the police department works, and they're a very valuable asset to us. So we're looking for volunteers, kids to come in and volunteer for that program.
All right. And again, go to the city's website, newhopemn.gov. You can find out more information about that Explorers program there. Let's move ahead to Park and Rec and some things that are going on. Great news for those that are dance enthusiasts. We've got some ticketing processes that are working here. What does this mean for us?
Okay. Well, this is a good piece of good news. It's like spring. So what they're doing is they're working on getting the tickets for the spring dance recital of 2022. So winter can't be that long. They're working on that already. They've done it before. It works really well. You get your tickets online rather than going through the department to get them. So there is some hope for that. All right. Now, the downside of that is they're working on the winter scheduling of the dance programs.
Yes.
So I guess we got to get through winter till we can talk about spring.
All right. How about the golf course? Is there still time to hit the ball around New Hope Golf Course?
There is. They're mulching those leaves and they're raking them up or blowing them away so you can find your ball if it happens to get off the fairway, which some of us happen to get off the fairway. But the course is still open, and it will be open until the greens freeze. So even if they're frozen overnight, they won't let you on the course till they've thawed out. But I'm still playing, so you can still play too. The geese are still here, though.
Okay, well, that's the byproduct of the season. And then a quick note about using that facility during November to March. There is an opportunity to use the indoor part of that facility. How does that work?
Well, they rent out the clubhouse. I don't know how much they charge, but they do rent that out, and it's very reasonable. And they're renting it from November to March. What a great place to have your Christmas party or your New Year's Eve party. You don't have to clean house. You could just go there and let staff clean house. So call the golf course if you're interested in renting it. It holds about 75 people that can be seated. They have tables, and they have a nice place to cook food or serve your food. And just a great place. Lots of parking. It's very pretty in the winter.
Yeah, neat opportunity. All right, let's move over to the ice arena. Things really ramping up there. What's happening on and off the ice right now?
Well, it's the season.
Yeah.
So a lot is happening. A lot of the teams are just starting to practice. Now the girls' high school team is just starting to practice. Youth hockey has been practicing and playing games all along. We had a tournament last weekend that went on. They have open skating on Fridays and Sundays, but you really need to call to make sure that they don't have a game on that Friday. They play a lot of games on Fridays, not so much on Sundays.
Right.
Open skating is $5. You can rent skates if they need. You can even get them sharpened there.
All right, neat opportunity. And final note for Park and Rec, looking for warming house staff. You still need some people to help out in those outside arenas.
They do. So that's a paid position. It's seasonal, obviously. So it's good if the kids are out of school or have some time being a warming house attendant. Just go online. You can apply that way, or you can go into City Hall and get an application from Park and Rec.
All right, update on a staff position from the Human Relations and Human Resources Department. You've got a new person to help out with stormwater and projects. Tell us about this new person.
Mick McLean is his name, and he starts on the 15th of November. Typically, when we're going to do a project, a street project, the coordinator will go out and canvass the neighborhood, make sure the neighbors know exactly what's going to happen if they have to turn off the water, when that's going to be. That's what Nick will be doing. So look, if you're going to have a project that's going to be done, Nick is the guy that's going to be out there helping you with that project. So we want everyone to understand what's going to happen and the time frame it's going to happen in.
Very good. Welcome to Nick. A few communications updates from the cities. First of all, information on the city's website. And again, it's newhopemn.gov about how to get rid of those pumpkins. What should we do with pumpkins, Mayor?
Well, last week we talked about that. Brooklyn Park has, at their Central Park, has a drop-off for the pumpkins. If you can compost them, it's a lot better than just throwing them in the trash. However, I noticed the pumpkins at the golf course, the squirrels have totally eaten the insides of the pumpkins. They didn't even have to carve them. The squirrels gnawed a little hole and ate the whole inside, and all they've got left is the shell. But if you have a pumpkin, try to compost it if you can.
All right, something that came out through the city's social media was something about utility bill auto pay customers. A little heads up here because of a bank name change. How can you help out residents with this?
So if you have your utility bill simply taken out of your checkbook, auto pay they call that, and you have a checking account with TCF, because they changed the Huntington Bank, you have to change the numbers on your account with the city. So you can call city, or you can call Clarissa, and her number will be on the bottom of the screen. You could write it on the back of the bill, or you could go online and do it. But do it because your bill won't be taken out. It just doesn't seem to work until you get that change made. So if you're confused on how to do that, Clarissa can walk you through it.
All right, there you see the number 763-592-6760 to get some help with that process. In Focus photo contest is wrapped up. Tell us about how many came in and the opportunity now to do some voting online.
So 20 photos came in, and they're gorgeous, and they're now online. So you can go online and vote, and that website's at the bottom of the page. So you can go and vote starting now, and you have until the 19th of November.
Okay.
Gotta make sure I got that right. 19th of November to vote. And that'll be for the People's Choice Award.
Very good. All right. We'll end with a couple dates and things to remember of what is happening here in the beginning of November. First off, we've got a poster display that's coming up, and I believe this is going to be at City Hall. Who's displaying and when can we see it?
Well, if you remember from previous shows we've done, the Human Rights Commission bought some Crayolas called Colors of the World,
right,
and they're skin colors, and they gave them to all the kindergartners in New Hope and asked them to draw a picture of their family or who takes care of them. And so they're going to take all those pictures, they'll pick them up this week, and they'll be posted on the 4th of November at City Hall from 3 to 6. So the families can come in and see those. So if you pick up your kids at school, just drive over to City Hall. You can see your child's poster hanging up of the pictures that they drew. So the City Hall should be full of pictures of kids that they drew, the kindergartners.
Yeah, what a great process there. All right, and a couple final notes here about ways that residents of New Hope can help out those in need this time of the year. Let's begin with coats. People need some coats. Where can we drop them off and until when?
Well, slightly used. You can drop them off at the police station until the 15th of November, and we'll collect them and take them to the Salvation Army. They're also having a food drive, and you can drop off food at the main entrance of City Hall until the 20th of November, and all that food will go then to a near. Now, it has to be non-perishable foods, like canned foods or in a box. You can also drop a check off. If you do that, don't just put it in the box. Take it up to the counter and give it to them. But all those checks made out to near will go to the food shelf.
All right, looking for ways for people to help out here during the holiday season. Well, again, a lot of information, as always, with the mayor. So if you want to find out more or sign up for some of the things that we mentioned, go to the city's website, newhopemn.gov. Mayor Hemken, good to see you once again. Thanks for all of your time today, and we'll look forward to see you again next week.
Thanks, Dave. Stay warm.
You too. Learn more about The Connection at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.